modern day masculine man, take one.
Ooh, what makes a modern day masculine man? When you drink your liquor straight, a modern day masculine man. I pay all the bills and I tells my woman the truth. Got my shit together, do what I wanna do, say what I wanna say. I won't bend, I won't break, you are not me and I am not you. I kept it real, so now I can do what I wanna do. Modern masculine man. Welcome to Man School.
Welcome to the Modern Masculine Man Podcast, Mitch. Woo!
What up, what up, what up, what up? How y'all doing out here in YouTube land, in Facebook land, in Instagram land, whatever land you are in, how y'all doing? It's a happy Wednesday. I'm here live with my host, co-host, Carla Nicole Wilson. Tonight we got a good show, but before we start, like I always do, how was your week? How has things been going? What's up with you?
So listen, everything's been great. Just been working and focusing on making sure everything is on the up and up. You know, we're always busy grinding and creating, of course. So
you already know what time it is. Well, I like your show tonight. I know we got a good topic. You know what I'm saying? I just looked at it because I like to be surprised. I like to spin. I like how everything is always kind of from a different angle. I like how you kind of like to hit them from the back and then bam, catch them from the front. Let me call Chris because I want to turn my AC unit down in here. I need the remote because it's kind of loud coming through the mic. But as you, hey, can you come in here and bring me the remote for the AC so I can turn it down? Okay. I don't want to get up. I ain't got on no drawers or pants. I'm just, I'm like the weatherman. You know how the weatherman be sitting there. Are
you like bottomless, Mr. Clark?
Reballing it in here. So you can shut the door and I'm gonna turn the AC off and hopefully leave it shut because keep that cool air in here. As you can see, I ain't sweating, but I don't want to have too much background noise in my situation.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? As you can see now, look. See?
Oh.
Yeah, no matter how you get around it, you're gonna have some sound with that AC. And then I got a real good mic here. But Carla, you know, I've been having a decent week. I've been actually having a wonderful week. Whenever I can get to do the show 3 days a week, I feel like a real celebrity. I feel like a real star.
You're a star.
3 days a week is good enough for me for now. You know what I'm saying? I can't imagine doing 5, 6, 7 days a week, but I can understand how people create content like that 5, 6, 7 days a week when they're just borrowing, they're seeing stuff on the internet and they're commenting on it, they're reviewing it. You know what I'm saying? And we may get into some of that to create some discussions in the future, but you know, I like the self-help. The aggressive self-help that we give, the life coaching, the mental health clarity, the actual journey to self-discovery so everybody can have their own swag. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to go ahead and let you get started and do your thing and get this thing topicked off. And we're going to let you flow how you flow. And I'm just going to respond.
Welcome back, everybody, to Ranting and Raving, where wisdom and wit collide tonight. I am your girl, Coach Carla Nicole.
And I am Javon Clark, the wit of the group. She's the wisdom and I'm the wit. I love that. That's dope.
And tonight we are going there, okay? So all the way there tonight. So we're going to have some fun. We're talking tonight about something that a lot of men feel, but I don't think a lot of men know how to talk about it or even have come to terms with it. And that is these gentlemen that are decent and they still got left.
Mm-mm-mm. Before we get into that, I want to give a shout out to my sponsor, Spirit House Sage. Sage is good. It's antimicrobial. It's good for cleaning spirits out the house. That's what they say. I like that antimicrobial, but I can never say that antimicrobial properties.
Okay.
Sage kills bacteria. So shout out to Spirit House Sage. I'm
Shout
going to
out.
get a
Yes.
paid sponsorship soon for just sitting here
Yes, I love it.
getting this Sage on air. Go ahead, though, Miss Carla.
Let's go. Sage it up, babe. Sage it
And
up.
listen, you said something that men have said forever, but we never heard the word decency attached to it. Nice guys finish last. That's something that men have said forever, but men really don't believe that. I don't think men really believe that. But let's go ahead and dive and do a deep dive head first into your thing.
Well, let's talk first of all about decency. So, I know, and I need you to kind of follow me a little bit, Javon. But as we know, young men are taught young. I'm a mother of a son, so as a mom to a son, but also I witnessing other mothers constantly drilling in the minds of the sons that it's important for them to be decent. They constantly are telling the son to make sure that they're, decent to the girls at school, and make sure you hold the doors open and always be mindful of gestures and being, really kind of mindful of women. And so I feel like because of that, it has really caused a lot of men, and I'll call the gentlemen the decent men, they're almost in this belief that as long as they are doing right by their wife or primary love, or ladies, if they're in the poly life, they are making sure that they are doing certain actions, or making sure that they are taking care of certain things to be mindful that they are decent, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like what's really a hard thing for me to see is the good guys that are doing a lot of things, and they're trying to be extremely in the head that I'm doing this, I'm taking care of this, I'm making sure this is good, I'm making sure that's good. And he's doing all of these things, and then he gets played on or left or just totally disregarded or not even considered.
Used and juiced.
Used, yes. And so for me, I feel like, unfortunately, the decency that the men are taught early on, or even men that just have in their spirit to be that. They want to have that integrity. They want to be the model man. If I could be honest about that, there's a lot of men that really they put a lot of pressure on their own shoulders. Like, I need to make sure that I'm modeling out here what a man is supposed to look like, how he's supposed to take care of things. And I got these young men that look up to me, so they put even more pressure on themselves about how they're treating their lady. And yet it's not good enough to the wife or the lady.
The funny thing that you say about that, and us being raised by a lot of single mothers, and just the chivalry that's on TV and romance and society, and being a decent man, it's like a lot of men, most men are decent men. If you're not a deviant in society, you're a decent man. Like, I don't know what people think is different about me. I'm a very decent man. The thing is, the problem is, a lot of men that are nice guys or decent men haven't been taught by other men what's simping and what's fucking being gotten over on. So sometimes, like you say, what's the old saying? People take your kindness for weakness.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? So
Yes.
in a lot of situations we have where a lot of men are being decent men and they're being good men and they're doing all the things right, but no one told them, like my granddaddy told me, a woman keep record of you wrong. So you got to tell a man has to be taught by a man. You can pay the bills every month and do everything right. That
Yes.
woman is going to only remember your fuck ups. That's just her by nature, because your fuck up gives her an opportunity to show you how not decent you are. See, my grandfather taught me that inherently women are jealous of men. Wow. Inherently. So men, and like we say, with teaching swag and this school that we trying to do and this coaching we trying to do, men need to hear this from other men. Women are inherently jealous of men. And I'll juxtapose it to black men and white men. Black men are inherently jealous of white men. You know what I'm saying? Because they have ascribed status over us in society, have power. They have privilege. We know if I'm pulling up at Walmart and I'm going into a parking space and it's a white man going into the same parking space, and we get out the car and we start to argue and some go down, in American society, it's better for me to concede because I could lose my family. The police pull up. They lose your,
yes.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So I know this. So I'm juxtaposing. Black men are inherently jealous of white men. I don't care how black men want to say, no, yeah, shut the fuck up. In the very same way, women are inherently jealous of men. So when a man is doing all right and he's providing and protecting, there comes a certain level of authority that comes with that. I'm taking care of you. I'm handling business. I'm providing and protecting. So kind of like when it rubber meets the road, that man more than likely has to say so. You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
But when a man do something wrong, that's his woman's chance to say, uh-oh, I got your ass now. I can drive this in the ground. And also, this is some drama for me. Every day of you just paying the bills and coming home, eating your dinner in the stove. And no, God, now if you come home and you fuck up or something that go wrong, now I got something to talk about. I got something that this is a conversation. This is a, you think you always do this, that, and the other, but you messed up this time. Right. And I know that was long-winded, but that was just my spiel on that to say, hey, man, it's some things you have to understand about a woman's nature that she's going to do to you regardless. Even me, no matter how it get, stuff like that get done to me. My wife has done this stuff to me. Right. And I had to say, hey, I'm a good, decent man. I know you trying to fuck me over right here. I'm not gonna let you.
So, and I want to talk about, you know, when a woman hasn't done her emotional work. I'm talking about mastery over feelings, mastery over her emotions. When a woman doesn't deal with herself, what happens is decency doesn't feel safe to her.
Wow, you got the flow. You got it.
It feels very threatening to a woman that has not done her emotional work. She doesn't know how to sit still in peace at all. In other words, she has to have the chaos. Or what happens is she begins to feel uneasy, and she then becomes really a mad woman. And when I say mad, I'm not talking about angry. I'm talking about mad in the mind.
Crazy,
yes. And she also doesn't trust stillness either. So men, I want you guys to hear me. It's very important you're listening. Decency is monotonous. It's not a lot of adventure and excitement. It's just very monotonous. Women claim they want monogamy or they want the relationship and their wholesomeness, but what they don't want is the consistency and the monotony of what that comes with. A woman that doesn't do her emotional work has a tendency to corrupt in her own mind. Peace looks very unnerving to her in her spirit.
Man, we got to clip that right there.
We got to clip unnerving in her spirit. She can't settle. She can't be calm. She can't feel any type of real peace inside. And stillness reminds her of all the stuff that she's been avoiding.
Woo! Good God Almighty. Because her entire life it's been the thought of a fairy tale, happiness, romance. To me, romance means cheating to women. To
romance means what? Say that again.
Cheating. If you go look at all the top movies that we see that women are in,
right, that
are romantic, it has to do with cheating.
Right.
She have to get cheated on and find a new guy for it to even seem like it's a good movie.
Of course.
It can't be she meet a guy, fall in love. What is that?
That's so boring.
I need some fucking cheating to go on. I need
some cheating and some misunderstandings, and then we make up sex and all that. Yeah, you want all the madness. But remember, I told you the mad is in here in the mind.
Crazy, exactly.
Yeah.
Now this is the funny thing. I love this show because I have my perception, and like you said, I'm the wit, you're the wisdom. But I have my own. I don't even have my own level of wisdom. I'm just talking what my granddad would say.
Right.
And I always try to give men something in a proverb. Everything you just said is this: a woman that can't control her own mind will want to control everything around her.
Yes.
Everything got to fit me because I can't control my mind.
Right.
So when I walk in the room, if I can't calm down, turn the fucking AC up. I'm hot. If I walk in the room and I'm cold, turn the heat on. Well, you got a jacket. I don't want to put my jacket on. I want the heat turned up. I want everybody warm because I'm warm. Right. I can't control my emotions. I can't control my feelings.
Madness.
And they use it.
Yes.
They use it to their advantage. It's like you tell a woman you're being emotional. You're in your feelings. I'm so sick of men always telling me I'm emotional and I'm in my feelings. I can think. I have a mind. And then the next minute, it's like, you know, I'm emotional. You know, I'm being my feelings. Mm-hmm. When I'm fucking up, I use my emotions and my feelings as my excuse. Yeah, but when you're grilling me and I say I'm not being emotional. You see what I'm saying? So
right. Yes.
It's a situation where I love the fact that you are teaching men about women, but you're actually teaching women about women because women don't really know that about themselves.
No.
They just know how they feel. See, what you have done the self-work. I said today, perfect example of this right here. I just made a video, Carla. This is so crazy. I looked at the flyer you made. I didn't read anything because I didn't want to preform my opinions about.
You didn't want to.
Yeah. I don't want to do that because I'll find myself trying to agree with you and disagree with you to make the show better.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And that's what I don't want to do. I want to be organic. So today I had made this video. I hope it go viral. Women are saying in the sentiment in the social media world, you know what type of women, this term, brokey. And when the term goes viral throughout pop culture, that means most women have accepted it as a tool, a word to use. No different than I'm being petty.
Right.
Get it? So I'm teaching some English now, but I'm teaching some real shit now.
Right.
When a word becomes popularized, it's because the mainstream or the loudest people have stamped this word. So now a new word in social media is he's a brokey. And when a man is called a brokey, it's when a woman say, can you pay my rent? No, I just met you. Oh, you a brokey. Can we go out to a restaurant that costs $500? Not on our first date. Oh, you a brokey.
Okay.
Can you send me money for my hair and nails and feet before the date? No, you a brokey. Now, isn't this something that a fucking 4-year-old girl would do? You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Men don't fight like that.
Right.
So now that this word brokey has been made a thing, women have accepted this as a shaming tactic. That's the madness in the mind, Carla. Think about it.
What I'm saying? Yes.
Yeah. So what if a man said, If I said to you, Carla, Nicole, can I get some of that pussy? Respond to me.
No.
That's because that pussy stink. It's because that pussy stink. That pussy got a disease.
Right. So it's got to be all that. Right.
Yeah. Now think about this.
Right.
Because I asked you for sex up front, because that's what men normally want from women.
Right.
And women ask men for money up front because that's what they want. But because the man said no to the money, he's a brokey. When you said no to me for sex, I said, it's because your pussy stink. What if men just adopted that and that became the thing? And women were being shamed for having stinking pussies because they weren't promiscuous. You see how men are being done? It's madness. It's such madness. But why is it so agreed upon by women?
Okay, because remember, you don't want to forget, Javon, that the men, the masculine, the male in the male-female of this universe is the strongest.
Go ahead, cook.
So because he's the strongest, he's the easiest to attack. So unfortunately, men are being attacked. But see, for me, in my purpose, and I know this, I have to be a voice for men to understand some things so that men can get out of the comatose of thinking that women are constantly okay when they're not. A lot of women have a lot of issues beyond words and beyond the Time magazine. Yeah. There are a lot of issues going on. But if I can equip men with understanding why they are concerned or being played with, because they're thinking, I'm decent. I'm not beating on her. I'm not cheating on her. So what's the problem? Why am I getting left? Why am I getting mistreated? Why am I being disrespected? Why am I being, just disregarded? Well, because it's not always, and I've said this on so many occasions. I have said, men, it is not always what you don't do. It's not always what you do. It's what you don't do. So a man will think, well, I did this, I did this, I did this, I did this. Yeah, you did all of that. But what you didn't do was you didn't make sure that in her mind, she's not still stuck on stupid about an ex that she's still fiending over from back in 2012. She's still with that dude, even though she's in the bed next to you, but you don't know.
Yeah.
She's coming home to you every night, but you don't know. It takes a dime, one dime of time for her to get a call. Did you know such and such is over on Dixie? He's going through such and such a store. You can just pop up over there and you can make it look like it's just by happenstance. And she could take her ass over there, and guess what'll happen? She'll have his time, and then she'll go right back into, I still have feelings. I remember when he did X, Y, Z. You remember our other show? We talked about this.
So, Carla, let me ask you.
Where a woman will be easy to.
Now, as you sit here and say what you're saying, right? A man can see a woman at the stove that look good and try to fuck just out fucking. You just explained what I've been saying, that everything and every decision a woman makes is a diabolical planned plot. At every time. You see what I'm saying? Now listen to what I'm saying. What can a man do? How can a man know that? See, this is the thing. A man's trauma and drama is not manifested like a woman's.
No.
You see what I'm saying? We be talking some good shit, Carla. A man's trauma and drama, if he in love with Sarah, that's not going to stop him from getting to work every day. That's not going to stop him from going to pay the bills. He could marry Keisha, but he's still in love with Sarah, but he going to take care of his kids and do his duty by Keisha. Now, his heart could be with Sarah, but he ain't going to wake up thinking about Sarah and start kicking ass and not being fair in the house.
Right.
On the vice versa, a woman's trauma is going to be manifested with that man. He's going to feel that through the emotional treatment that he gets on a fucking daily basis. So,
Absolutely.
Carla, what is a man that's so-called decent supposed to do if we don't give him this game?
This is why I wrote the book.
Exactly.
This is exactly why I wrote it, because I wanted men to understand that you must be when you go through this heartbreak, because it is very different for men. When a man gets brokenhearted, especially his first one,
Yeah.
it is very devastating, to the point where sometimes men never recover.
So many men never recover. And
No.
it turns men, and man, I used to work with the homeless, right?
Okay.
And we used to feed the homeless Wednesday and Saturday. And I used to cook. You know, it was with this ministry, and they bought the food and I cooked, right?
Right.
And so many men that were homeless. Why are you homeless? Number one answer: I went through a bad divorce. Good God Almighty. I heard that thing so many times. And I heard so many stories of bad divorces where men literally lost it all, couldn't go here, couldn't do this, got on drugs, or didn't touch drugs. Man, I'm still a mechanic, man. I got my tools right here. You know, sometimes I see a car broke down on the side of the road, I work on it, I make a little money, man. But man, I went through a bad divorce and I ain't never bounced back. Good God Almighty.
But this is why I wrote the book called, She Left Anyways, because I want men to understand that I don't want the man to go into this darkness that he can't see the light of what it really is, because he did not do everything wrong. Because a lot of times a woman that is not emotionally sound, she's got a lot of madness in her mind, will conjure up a lot of lies, a lot of mad accusations. She will be the one doing the damage, but she will claim it's you, because she cannot honestly sit in her truth, because a woman like this is not sound-minded. So I want you to understand that, for us to really be real, a lot of women confuse decency with dullness.
Yeah.
Because they mistake consistency for complacency.
Yeah.
But you weren't complacent. You were just emotionally grounded, and you already made it clear in your heart, mind, and soul, which most decent men do, once they decide to connect and be in that structure with a woman, just like you bring up all the time on Marriage Mondays. You talk about how you chose your wife.
Yeah.
You talk about that. That's not something that was just, I'll just pick any old woman off the street and pick her up and bring her in. No, you thought very clearly.
Yeah.
I'm talking about very clearly why you chose Chris. So for me, it made sense to make sure that I bring this up, that most men don't just pick a random chick to marry. Most men have a well thought out process in his heart and mind, because he must decide, can I live with this decision? And in this decision, her flaws and her, her beauty and her good things, I need to be able to know I can live with this decision.
So check this out. When you say most men, I want to differentiate this for you. All right. I'm a decent man.
Right.
And then you have another man that's a decent man. That thing you're talking about, swag.
Yes.
That self-confidence, that self-understanding.
Yes.
That man is going to pick a woman based off logical reasoning, like me.
Yes.
The other guy that's a decent man that doesn't have that swag or doesn't have that male teaching, is just going to pick a bitch that he head over heels eyes like. And then he's going to do anything to get her. And when he get her, he's going to do anything to keep her.
Right.
So that's that decent man that get fucked over and played. Yeah. I'm that decent man that has enough sense to say, hey, come on now. So the thing that's so amazing to me is women don't even try that shit with certain men. They don't even try that shit. Women have two modes when they deal with certain men. Say, for example, and I know in my dealings with life, I know I'm a decent man. I know I'm a masculine man, and I know how to deal with women
Right.
effectively. See, when I'm dealing with a woman, I immediately say, okay, I gotta train you. And women don't like that saying, I got to train you, but let's reverse it. Better right. I was learning my man while I was earning my man. That's some things you young girls don't understand. When she said I was learning my man by earning my man, she was saying I was looking at all the shit he like and don't like. He was fucking training me. So if you don't like that, that's just how I talk.
There's a studying go. You got to study. You have to go into a study.
Yeah. So it's a situation where a woman, when she meet a man that she really wants and want to be trained by and she want to respect, she'll try that shit. And when she try that shit and when it's met with opposition, she won't leave him. She will turn into a little girl and just cry about it. I'm losing myself. You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You're controlling. You know what I'm saying?
And that's always the excuse.
Exactly.
That's always the excuse, because men that are decent usually have a desire to have a mission to be accomplished. They're trying to set the tone. And so there's boundaries and there's certain stipulations that's in place when you're trying to build a family. You can't have a family just acting wild and just doing whatever they want to do. There has to be some structure there. And when you're talking about structure, it requires for there to be some type of guidelines and bounds. We gotta have bounds. It can't be a boundless relationship. I can't just you're a wife now, or you're in a structured relationship. You can't just be out here just doing any old thing. You got to consider that you are now a wife or a woman in an intentional relationship, or you're in your poly arrangement. Mm-hmm. You got to make sure, okay, I am in this. I am a part of this. And being in that part as a woman, there has to be certain structures that I'm able to be in compliance with. Mm-hmm. That doesn't mean that I have to be controlled, but that does mean I have to be willing to learn, willing to be operative in our relationship. Who am I if I'm a woman and I'm not operative? I'm constantly causing stress on you because I don't want to heed anything. I don't want to listen to nothing. I want it all about me. Then you're not a person that needs to be in a structured relationship. But this is what I want decent men to understand, that in the situation like this, the complacency is what you have to have in order to build a solid relationship. You have to have consistent relationships. And in that consistency, you have to make sure that you have structure. And sorry that women don't like that. It's just what it is.
This is the thing about women and structure. I don't think women can create structure for their own life and their own children's lives, because a woman living in emotion. And this is the thing. I understand, ladies, y'all go through a 30-day cycle of life to death. Y'all body go from, hey, I can produce life to I didn't produce life. An egg is dying and bleeding out of me. In that 30-day cycle, there are so many hormones, and hormones, people don't realize. I understand women. That's why I call myself the woman whisperer. Hormones literally are messages sent to your brain to tell your body how to react in certain situations. So I understand it's about ovulation time. You're going to be nicer. You want to mate. I understand. You're going to be nicer to me. You want to mate. I understand as the time premenstrual come. I understand all this shit. Right. However, what I'm saying is that leads to you in your daily basis, minus a man, subtract the man from the equation, right, with your children. You cook based on how you feel that day. You'll feed your kids garbage for 6 days a week until you feel good like cooking Sunday dinner, and then you cook overboard.
Right.
You literally can't control your own emotions with your own children. Your children watch you. Yes. Your children won't listen to you because you don't have any structure, because you're inconsistent. Right. So I don't care what you say as a woman. If you're not willing to work on that yourself, or let a man come in. Most men don't even know this about women.
I know.
So they don't even know that, okay, I got to come in with some structure. He just move in and start paying for shit and let her one willy-nilly.
Right. Well, I don't know if you've been paying attention to my post recently, but I have been talking about we need to get back to having misters. A lot of the problem with single women is they are making their sons, their grandsons, their nephews, and their brothers the man in their life.
Of course.
It's costing so many unfortunate men to have this misunderstanding or misconception of understanding that, hey, I have a son.
Yeah.
I don't tell my son that he's the man of this house.
Yeah.
He is not.
Or call him king when he a little bit of fucking boy.
No. He is not. And then once he gets grown and moves out and takes care of what he needs to take care of, he does not have to look back to take care of mom. That is not his job. My son needs to make sure that he takes care of himself. I am his mother, not his wife.
Exactly.
And unfortunately, there's not enough single mothers having misters in their lives so the son can understand that.
So when you say mister, you mean like an uncle, somebody that's...
No, mister. No, I'm talking about a man in your life. So I'm calling them mister. Do you remember back when we were...
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, like the uncle.
We got Mr. Charles or Mr. whatever.
In my era, we called them the uncle. Like the mama would say, that's the uncle. You know what I'm saying? Or this,
whatever you want to call him.
You knew mama. Mama was respectful enough, hopefully. But in my era, I'll just be honest. My mom had her misters, and I got everything from her misters that you're saying I need to get. Yes. To understand manhood. Absolutely. However, I knew she was fucking some of them cats.
Okay. So what? Now here's
back in the day, the kids didn't know he was fucking them.
Now, see, for me, I am big about telling single women that it's vitally important that if you do have a mister that you are intimate with, your son should only see one as that man.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
So you don't let your son see Tom, Dick, and Harry in the bedroom. That's inappropriate.
Yeah.
You don't do no shit like that. You let your son know, yes, mama's got a mister, and it's fine. Yeah. But understand, you are not the man of the house. You are my son.
Because if you grew up,
I got a lot of nephews, and you know what I'm saying? I got nephews, and I don't place them in a place where a man should be.
Yeah.
Because I don't want them confused. When my son and goes into his life, I don't want him to look back trying to say, I got to take care of my mama. No, that's not your job. I love you, son. I wish you well. Whatever your success is, do it. If you want to do, whatever you want to do. But it is not his job to take care of me.
But you know what's crazy? Mothers will call their daughter their twin. They'll dress alike with them at a young age. Those misters that you're talking about, you know what I mean? That really, really poured something into your life. Like I said, when you hear or know your mother's fucking and moaning and it feel good in the back room, as a young man, what do you think that's going to make you think about sex?
Right.
Exactly. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. So that's why it's important that you're clear as a mother.
Exactly.
You have to represent your son. Your son has to know my mother isn't a slut out here with all these different men.
Exactly.
It's important that your son, with my son's eyes, see, I was just as particular with my son as I was with my daughter. I didn't let my daughter see shit when it came to that.
But what you were talking about earlier about being emotionally healed.
Yes.
If a woman is not emotionally healed, there's gonna be Mr. after Mr. after Mr. after Mr. Like not even in a situation.
If that is the case and she has her playgirl years or whatever she's doing, I'm gonna need for her to keep it private. You go do what you need to do, but your son doesn't need to see it.
Let me tell you something.
Nor your children.
Let me tell you something how I judge the woman. And this is based on my own personal life. This is some real shit. Anybody that has followed me know this. If a woman say I can come over when her kid's there, I will delete her fucking number. Because I was a child that would be home and hear mothers or aunts or people in my family having sex, the women in my,
Yes,
so to me, and as a child,
yes,
you have a certain affinity for your mom, like an Oedipus complex, where you love your mom or you love your aunties so much. These are the pretty women, your grandma, your cousins in your life.
right.
So it's like these are the first beautiful women that you've had an affinity for. I ain't saying you're sexually attracted to them. So as a little boy, you like, that's my mama, that's my TT, that's my big cousin. So when you see a man come around just even smiling in their face, you get protective and you get mean. I remember as a little boy, and you see little boys do it now. A man talking to their mom or their aunt or their sister, little boy come up and kick them and want to fight them.
Right.
Instant, like, get out, mom. And then now you hear him fucking.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
That's why I say it is.
That's why I be seeing it's some sorry bitches out here, man.
But this
It's
is
some
why
sorry motherfuckers. Men, I don't think men, single fathers be fucking with their children here. I was just thinking about today. My daughter was crying, and I was laying down, and I had my drawers on. You know what I'm saying? I don't even go in my daughter's room with my drawers on.
No.
But how many young boys, out of the emotional insecurity of a woman, have seen their mama walk through the house naked, silhouette, and everything?
Right. Yeah, you gotta
Man.
definitely be
These
mindful.
women but women do that. I'm sorry to cut you off, because I have a friend that's going through that right now. He keeps telling his woman, don't be walking around half naked in front of your sons, and don't let this little boy be laying in the bed with you. Now, she don't know that's the thing that's going to stop her from getting the fucking ring. And we've been talking about it. We've been talking about it. I said, that motherfucker too spoiled, man. He's still calling her mommy. At a certain point, a boy said, Mom, hey, Mom. That mommy shit, that's when he in them ages where he laying in the bed with you. You know what I'm saying? But when he get to a certain age, man, this little motherfucker, she gonna spoil him and coddle him. And there's so many situations where women with kids forego the opportunity. If he hollering at you, if he taking little man to the barbershop, if he being in your life, he's considering you. But you and that emotional attachment and that emotional shit that you talking about, instead of dealing with reality, go into making a decent man just there as a provider. You know what I'm saying? There as a placeholder.
Yes, because you have to be mindful. If you have a son or a daughter, you have to be mindful what those eyes are seeing. It is vitally important what they see. I'm telling you, because it's vital, because your son is just as important as a mom to understand, I am not the man of this house. And I told him verbally, you are not, to make sure he's understanding what he is, because it's very difficult not to say certain things to your son because you don't want feelings hurt or misconceptions. But I'm clear, like, no, son, this is the reason why. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want you to think that you owe me anything once you go into your plight of life.
Well, Carla, you know, it's a funny thing, because I've seen so many situations, and I'm seeing it now. When I was in college, my white homeboy, my white roommate, we was talking about what if we made the NFL, and he was like, my parents don't think I got a body in my house. If they make it, they got a house. You know what I'm saying? Right. He like, I might retire my daddy. He was like, but I wouldn't buy it in my house. And it's a situation where you're talking about men. You know how many daughters feel the pressure of thinking they're going to have to take care of their mother one day when that mother is old and don't have a man, and that daughter knows she might have to move her mama in or take care of. I've watched family members, I've watched friends where the daughter's life became taking the mama to dialysis 3 days a week. The daughter's life became shooting the diabetes fucking shots. The daughter's life literally became taking care of her mother. And I actually was doing a one-on-one, and it happened on a live. This was so amazing. We was doing a live like this, and we was having a discussion, and the sister came up, and we were talking, and she was talking about the stress of dealing with her mother and blah, 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 blah. And, you know, I was just like, look, let's keep it real. You ready for your mama to die, ain't you? because I can see it and hear it clear as day. She bust out crying on the live. She said, yeah, that's my problem. She said, how did you get me to admit that? I said, because I can clearly see that everything you're saying about this situation is not conducive to nothing feeling good about it. Your sisters and brothers ain't helping. You know what I'm saying? You sick, you tired, and your mama treating you like shit. You ready for this motherfucking lady to die? She said, yeah. She said, I'm healed right now. She said, I can go in there tomorrow and help her and do everything I need to do and take her abuse, because deep down, I'm ready for this woman to die. And I know it. And I know I'm not going to be sad. I'm going to be relieved. That's that aggressive self-help that I talk about with Bears and Bubbles. Bears and Bubbles and that self-discovery shit you talking about, it goes to that. It's for some reason, God or the universe has gifted me and you the ability to talk to people and understand, and that empathy, like being an empath. Like right here, hey, cut this shit. You ready for your motherfucking mama to die, right? I can hear it all in your voice. Oh, yes. I felt so guilty. I can feel her saying she's so mean to me. I'm ready for that bitch to croak. I'll be so happy. I know I'm going to get some money, and my siblings ain't going to get none because they ain't been. This woman had already had her life planned out knowing when her mama died. You already know.
And this is why I'm actually working with someone right now that I have seen her literally. She doesn't have a man, hasn't had one for over, 30, 40 years almost, damn near. And she is a burden. Now, not but she's a burden because she's
friend. Are you saying she's your friend?
No action. She's not getting no man, no Mr. Nothing's coming by, nothing.
You say she's a burden on you as your friend, or
well, I mean, we're cool, whatever. But I'm saying she's a burden to her grandson, and he's like, okay. I look out for him. And my issue is, Javon, I told her recently, you need a man.
Yeah.
You need to stop burdening your grandson with your nonsense. She'll get real weak, like she can't walk when he's around, and all this BS. I said, that's BS. Get you a mister. You always saying I need a man. You do. You do.
Need some dick.
And then they're always doing all that damn gossiping, Javon.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, you wouldn't have any time to do that if you had a mister coming by. Because you know what? You would be getting busy. You would be having some action. Hell,
and you would have some excitement.
Or taking you to Bob Evans or something. Like, get you a man. This is
not Bob Evans. Like, just get up in the morning, go to dinners, eat some pancakes. Y'all ain't even got to be fucking. Y'all just somebody to entertain you. God damn. You know,
and I said, listen, you shouldn't have your grandson rubbing Ben Gay and all of that stuff. It's not his job. It's not his job, Javon. You know the stuff is wrong. And I told him, I said, I'm going to be honest with you, because she'll even say, oh, that's my boo. That's wrong. I told him, I said, that's psychological molestation is what that is.
Yes. It makes him feel obligated to rub her feet or take care of, when you young and your grandma's feet is crusty, everything about your grandma is like, man, grandma, put them titties up. Grandma, do something. Everything about grandma is unattractive. And she's talking about, that's my baby right there, rub my feet. Hell no. Hell no. I remember when I was a kid, my grandma used to have diabetes. So every now and then, if certain people weren't around, she used to get a shot in her stomach. And she would be like, give me my shot in my stomach. Yes. Just the way, your grandma got on a slip and the bra, and the grandma pull up a shirt and her stomach. I like,
that is what a mister
what the fuck is you actually doing this shit for?
That's what a mister's for, Javon. You need a mister in your life. And I keep trying to let these women, because I know there's a lot of women out here that are in their 50s, cusping around 60s and 70s, and they don't want to talk about the fact that y'all ain't got no man coming by. There's something wrong with that. Let's bring the misters back in your lives. Because if you don't, you're going to have brothers, nephews, sons, or grandsons taking the place of a man.
Nieces, man. Let me tell you something, Carla. That's what I'm trying to say. I understand you and your wisdom, and you're perfectly right. But what I'm saying is, so let's be clear for the audience, ladies. A mister is just somebody that's coming by to check up on you. Y'all could be intimate. You may not be intimate. You know what I'm saying? However, we are at a stage where black men is not taking care of no mamas and grandmas no more, the way we've been treated throughout life. So it's going to be your daughter. It's going to be your niece. You're going to ruin their lives. You know what I'm saying? Because as a man, you know what I'm saying? I literally like, hey, look, I can't deal with that. When my mama was sick, I was like, or just in her older age, I was like, okay, I love mama and I go down there and see her, but I can't deal with that. I really can't have no relationship with someone that really now, and I'm being transparent. When I say relationship, I don't mean I dislike my mama or anything.
I get it.
When I say relationship, I can't have a lot of interactions and conversations with a person whose highlight of talking to me is telling me other folks' flaws and downfalls. I can't take that from nobody. Mama, rest in peace. I can't take that from my brother. I won't take that from my wife. I won't take that from nobody where I got to hear my other loved ones besmirched. I won't take negativity from no one. And I'm not one of these motherfuckers that walk around talking about my vibration, my energy, blah, 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 blah. I'm simply saying you're not going to spend my quality time with you being negative about other situations. And that's what I found with women. It's very hard to have a conversation with a woman without her pointing out everything negative. Like I said early in the show, my grandfather said a woman only remembers the bad. I'll give you a perfect example real quick. Every time a woman go to a wedding or I go to a wedding with women, as we leaving, I always ask women, just this little fucking test I do. It was an experiment in college.
Right.
What do you remember about the wedding the most? You know, what did you like? What do you remember? What was stood out? Not the grandparents were 95 on both sides. Mama and dad is still alive. Not the colors, not nothing. It's her second bridesmaid from the left had blonde hair, and that shit looked crazy. I can't believe the chicken didn't have enough salt on it. It's like they literally remember the shit that they don't like.
Negative.
It's like going to a buffet.
Yes.
I would compare life like this with a woman. And women, I'm just being honest. And Carla is giving y'all some insight to yourself. And I'm giving you some insight to yourself.
Yes.
It's like going to a buffet with a woman. And it's 150 item buffet. 150 items. Decadent food.
Yes.
And she up there talking about they got fat back. They got liver. What's that right there? Is that I'm like, bitches are 47 things that you do like.
Right.
Like, oh, girl, this good. They got a mean buffet. It's 150 items, but you had a nerve to be serving fatback. I laugh when I say it. It's like, bitch, it's a buffet. 150 items, and you're walking around pointing out the shit that you're not going to eat at all. That's a woman for you.
Yes. This is why I keep telling you, Javon, it's the negativity. But if you keep not allowing misters in your life, the negative is going to stay there. It's going to remain. Men, if you understand the reason why it's so important for your presence alone, it balances out a woman's attitude, especially if you are a fit, you are in alignment. That woman will feel more vivacious, more happy, more excited, more creative. Because
so let me ask you something, and just a rudimentary way to explain it, just with my example just now. So you saying a mister around, if he likes this man enough, if they at the buffet of life, mister can say, hey girl, stop focusing on the stuff you don't like. Come on, let me enjoy this other 147 items. And she'll be like, you know, you're right. Let me enjoy the rest of this shit. Are you saying that's what a mister does? Yes. Y'all see how we break this shit down for y'all?
Yes. Because I'm trying to tell you, misters will bring you out of your nastiness, out of your attitudes. A lot of these women are doing a lot of gossiping because they don't have any tonguing going on. There's no kissing. There's no holding. You're always gossiping and nosing and trying to see what somebody else is doing because you don't have anything going on in your own home, in your bedroom. Can we be honest, Javon?
Miss Carla, a lot of women gonna say you're for women being promiscuous. And guess what? I know women now. All you said is you need a mister. And we'd already described the mister is a man in your life that you're comfortable with, that comes by and checks on you, and y'all got a decent relationship, whether it's sexual or not. But they're gonna hear you know why, and let me give you some game. You know why women gonna hear you're saying be promiscuous or be a whore? Why? You know why? Because a woman know they can't get a decent mister. So when you say that, her mind immediately goes to, I'm gonna have a whole lot of misters because I ain't got the emotional stability to keep a mister in my life.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
But again, Javon, remember it takes a lot to have emotional consistency, being able to handle your own feelings. And stop relying on someone else to manage them.
Let me stand up real quick. I need to stand up. I need to get a new chair because I never said this. I'm tall, so you know what I'm saying. My tables, it's got the highest desk I can get. Let me stand up. My motherfucking knee hurt. God damn. Go ahead, talk. I ain't never wanted to do that live, but my motherfucking knee hurting sitting behind this shit. You know what I'm saying?
That's why you need a bodywork session.
Yeah. I'm gonna get one. I ain't want to meet the camera. I'm just
the truth behind being tall. See?
Yeah, people don't realize that. People don't realize that bathtubs, you can't get in the bathtub. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot.
That's again, Javon. This is why I said it's so important that women understand and men really get a grasp that your decency isn't a bad thing. It's just that you were with an emotionally disabled woman that didn't know how to manage her feelings, and your consistency and your balance caused for her to go into a madness inside her spirit. She couldn't handle that because it's too much. And they have to have the drama. And if they don't, what they will do is they will insert it from lies they tell inside them, inside their own spirit and soul. They will tell lies to themselves because that's what they do.
Yeah.
And then they start to destroy your reputation. My
granddaddy, another proverb. I'm going to hit the drums after my proverbs. Proverb, a woman's mind is her own worst enemy.
Absolutely. Especially when it's not mindful.
A woman's mind is her own worst enemy. If she call your phone and it goes straight to voicemail, it's not in her to say maybe his battery died.
Right.
It's in her to say he's somewhere neglecting me, ignoring me. I wonder, is he fucking? Yeah. What is he doing? When he come home, I'm going to say this when he first come in the house. No, I'm not going to say that. I'm going to act calm. I'm going to say, what did you do? And then I'm going to say this. I'm going to say this. Bitch, the battery was dead. Can you not create a whole story in your head of how you're going to approach him? I'm going to be standing at the door. No, I'm going to be like this. No, I'm going to be like this. I used to joke with my wife, right? Mm-hmm. It was so funny, and I never said anything, but then I would finally joke with her. No matter if I ever went out with my homeboys, any friend, anything I ever did,
right?
No matter what time I come home, when I come in the house, she's gonna roll over and let me know she saw the clock. In her mind, that's what she's doing. And I used to be like, "It's so fucking childish. That's so fucking stupid. That's so stupid to me." And I would let her do it. And then finally one day I said something about it. And I came in, and as soon as I came in, I was like, and 3, 2, 1, like roll over so I can know you. And she just bust out laughing in the middle of the night. So that means the mind of a woman. It's so amazing to me. Like, it's like, say, for example, and I'm going to give you a real example. I have a special needs daughter. So every time they say this could be wrong, her hearing could be bad, her eyes could be bad, her heart has a hole in it, she needs braces to walk, her speech is delayed. Every time I have to go do a test, there's an immediate thought of nervousness. What if my baby can't hear?
Right.
And then I said, she can hear. She's gonna hear. Da 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 da. And I say positive thoughts.
Right.
It's not like I'm trying to manifest and all that shit.
Right.
It just feels miserable to sit there and say, what if my baby can't hear and I got to learn sign language and I got to blah, 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 blah. That just don't feel good to me.
No, it doesn't.
So I don't do it. But I swear to God on my life, in dealing with women, it's like the sad love song idea. I just broke up with my boyfriend. What do you want to do? Now think about this. Usher broke up. Usher made a song. Let it burn. Let the shit burn. It's going to hurt. It's going to sting. Next song on the record. Dun, 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 dun. You don't have to call. It's okay, girl.
Right.
I'll be all right tonight.
Yeah.
Baby. Usher, men are like this. Why not feel better? A woman, give me some Rocky Road ice cream. I want to listen to some sad songs that make me feel bad and good about this breakup. I want to feel the hurt and pain. It's really saying I need to psych myself up to feel like somebody done something to me because I done fucked up another relationship. It's so amazing to me.
Right.
So what I'm saying with a woman's mind is, women, I really want y'all to listen. You do not have to choose to visualize or think or dream the horror story that you don't want to happen anyway. Right. I'm not going to sit there and say, my daughter got a hole in her heart. I said, there's a possibility that it could close or what? Yeah, it could close, but it's a very, very slim chance. I'm like, oh, shit, her shit about to close then, goddammit. Let's stop thinking about that. Her shit gonna close.
Right.
Before I sit there and have a whole life at work worrying about her having a heart attack and a hole in the heart.
I know.
I don't understand this, ladies.
Well,
why do you need this drama and this trauma to feel alive and excited?
Well, let me tell you this, and this is what I meditated on this morning. And I noticed that this is really a true thing for real. And we always go back to the subject, and I try to have a show without it, but I can't do it. Purposeless women.
I knew a purpose. You can't get around that goddamn purpose.
Purposeless women have a tendency to bombard themselves in disappointment. And what I mean by that, Javon, is they're never happy because they're hoping to God that they'll get everything Sarah has, or Jennifer has this, or, Rodney did this for her and for my bestie, and you never do that for me, and I don't have this, and I'm upset that she's got that and I don't have this and that and everything. It's just a woman who's purposeless, and also a woman that has absolutely no gratitude for what she does have, tends to be I'm talking about the epitome of miserable. So
can I ask you something? Can I ask you something?
Sure.
I need you to define this for me, because it's a lot of motherfuckers purposeless watching this shit right now.
Right.
And I hope it reached the world.
Right.
First of all, I need to say this before I ask you this question.
Okay.
The purposeless woman is waiting for a man to come in and fix every fucking thing for her because she ain't got no drive and ambition.
No.
Now, I need you to define for me in so many terms or layman terms or whatever, because some people think because they got a job what is a purposeless woman?
A purposeless woman is a woman that does not know her mere reason for existence. She doesn't know why she's here on the planet. Just that simple. And has absolutely no desire to want to learn anything about why she's here. This is the biggest problem within the crazy madness in the mind of a woman that's purposeless, is that she has no desire, no question. She's just merely walking in her life, just going about her day, and really has nothing positive in her heart at all, because she's not really moved by wanting to accomplish something. It's despicable to sit amongst a woman that has no purpose. And if she died today, I'm not even talking about tomorrow. She died today, I wouldn't know what to put in the obituary.
You know what's crazy? Let me say this from what you just said right there. This purposeless woman or purposeless man, these people literally are walking around looking to consume and be given. And they literally are walking around living a situational life.
Yes.
The goalposts move, the standards change, everything changes based around the situation of them getting what they want. Or them avoiding doing something that they need to do for themselves. Then it's three things, several things that come with them, but I'm gonna explain three that I know.
Okay.
A lot of men, bastard children, and a fucking narcissistic self-loathingness of wanting to be fucking pretty. You show me a woman that get up every day and put that weave and lashes on and do all that shit and get the long nails, and then they go from sharp to straight to square to colorful. That bitch ain't got no purpose at all, because you can clearly see it. When you look at these women that complain about men and complain about life and that are horrible mothers, don't they all think they so fucking fly?
Yes, sir.
It's so sickening to me. Let me cook for 1 second.
Good.
I'm looking at you right here, talking with all the sense in the world that women need you damn near to be the president of fucking emotional stability and finding their purpose. And you sitting here half pulled back, looking regular. But then you show me somebody with 2-3 baby daddies, somebody that doesn't have a career, doesn't have nothing going for themselves, that's basically a man eater, fucking over decent men back to back to back to back.
Back to back.
That motherfucker is thinking she fly, and it's damn near an outfit that you can predict.
And I've been watching your shows or your clips about the eyelashes. And I don't know if you saw recently that I had actually posted, ladies, you could slash your lash budget if you would just get some mascara. You don't have to do all of that.
And mascara in itself is that little thing in that tube that you just do like that.
Do a little brushing.
And that in itself comes from the word mask. Now, what people don't realize is, as an English teacher, I study the etymology of things.
Yes.
Come from a mask. A woman's eyes are the window to her soul.
Oh, yes.
A woman's eyes say, come here, go away. A woman can look at a man and say, I'm afraid, help. Without even, so a woman's
saying a word.
A woman's eyes are what she really can communicate to us, her truthness. And it's how a man judges the heart. Now, you didn't put a mask on that.
Right.
So listen to what I'm saying.
Right.
So when you're trying to mask your true intentions as a woman, you're trying to get over.
Right.
You're a whore.
Now,
watch this. Watch this. Let me say this. That's why back in the day, older women said certain makeup, certain colors. That's because these women, think about this. Let me say this. I really want to cook for a second. My great grandmother that I grew up with was born in 1901. Her fucking mother was a slave. Her grandmother was a slave. My great grandmother said decent women don't wear mascara and red lipstick. She learned that from her grandmother that was a slave and her mother that was a slave. They learned that from the white man talking to his fucking daughter. That's how dumb we are.
But we don't know.
Grandma is not saying that because she fucking don't want you to shine. Grandma is saying that because her mother was a slave, her grandmother was a slave, and she heard the slave master tell his daughter, you can't wear that French mascara that just was invented and came over here because they wear that over there. It's a sign of a streetwalker. They mask their eyes because they don't want you to look in their face and really see what's going on. You can't wear that red lipstick. You can't wear that red dress. That's going to affect my ability to marry you off. And they set the culture. So when we stand around talking about why can't I wear this? Why can't I do this? Bitch, you don't know where it's to come from. You don't know and I know you want to be pretty, but for some reason, it's only a certain type of woman that want to be so goddamn pretty. And guess what they be? What? Promiscuous women that have no purpose. And the only thing they can do is hope a man save them. And in order for a man to save you, you're going to have to get that pussy up. Often they be whores. Think about this. This is the last thing I'm gonna say. I gotta say this. If you're a woman with no purpose, what else can you be besides a whore?
A Walking Dead. Because there's a lot of asexual Walking Dead women out here.
Yeah, cook on that for a second.
I'm talking asexual. They are dead. They're walking around. They have no purpose. Negative. Look down their nose at everybody else. Gossips. Those are what they can be if they're not whores. They're
you're so right.
They're the extremity of the whores you're speaking of.
I know something like that.
Asexual women that have they are cold.
Mean on the job, or do some crazy shit, take pictures, try to get folks fired in everybody's business. Ain't got no man, ain't got no children.
Yes.
You see what I'm saying? Ain't got no business to mind.
That's what I'm telling you. So because of that, that's what you will see. You will actually be aware or become aware of the foul from either way. So there's a foul from being extremely promiscuous, and then there's a foul with being asexual.
So Carla, can I ask you a question?
What?
Because when you say women need a mister, that's so deep. We got to do more on this.
Okay.
We got to do on more because women say they don't need no man, right? So let me ask you this, because it's something has came to me why they call words. She has a mental illness or she has a menstrual cycle, menopause. Can I ask you something? And I need you to tell me this.
What's that?
When a woman's journey to self-discovery, can she even want it unless it's a man she trying to win at the other end?
When a woman is what? Say that question again.
Okay. So when we say a woman is finna go on her journey to self-discovery and healing and emotional wellness,
right?
Can she even think to want to do that unless somebody's saying you got to do that to get a man?
Well, she can, but it would have to see. A lot of times when women are going into their self-discovery, a lot of times they're abstinent or they're in a celibacy because they're trying to cleanse and they're trying to get. But let's just be honest, it's not for eternity. So it's
and it doesn't make them better people. That's what I'm saying. For a woman, I'm asking you as a woman, you've been a woman and you said you had your playgirl years and
Absolutely.
you know what I'm saying? For a woman to decide, I want to be a better human being.
Yes.
I want to stop being evil natured. I want to be a better human being.
Right.
Can a woman independently say that unless it has something to do with a man? It seemed like you kind of, even when you said, well, if she's celibate, well, that's got to do with a man. The only reason I'm finna go sit down and be introspective is because I got fucked over by a man.
Right.
And then on the flip side, the only way I'm going to go in and learn myself and be a better person because I don't want to be lonely. I need a man. So how I'm starting to see that a woman can't even decide. I give you a perfect example. And this is real life example. Me and my ex were together. When I got with her, she wasn't a big lady. She started gaining weight. She lost, you know what I'm saying? And there are reasons. I ain't gonna get into that because I'm still cool with her. But she know I've said this. She started gaining weight.
Okay.
And I was like, yo, what's up with the weight? Goddamn, I'll work out with you. Soon as I left in the gym doing P90X insanity, crazy workouts, got slim and everything back again. Why couldn't you do that when you was with me? Because I asked you. You wouldn't even take care of your fucking health unless it was trying to show a man, nigga, do you want me in that? No, bitch, I don't want you like that. I had you at your best. You fell off. Now you done got back to your best. I got a new bitch that's 10 times better than you. What make you go into the gym 3, 4, 5 months, total motivation to come out just to call me and say, hey, what's up? You trying to have dinner? We go to dinner and you look at me. What you think of me? I'm like, that's the same old pussy I had for years. What the fuck is you talking about? Shit to me. I'm glad you lost weight. I wish you would have did it when we was together. We might still be fucking together. Right. So what I'm saying is, when we talk about the motivation for a woman to do anything, whether it's to be celibate, learn yourself, sit your ass down and go to introspective, or to say, let me figure out how to change my attitude and the person that I am. It seemed like a woman, it's like I'm hearing they're going to be evil until something has to do with man. Maybe that's woe man. They don't understand the words. Woe don't mean good. People don't realize God made man. And we know that. I ain't getting into a religious. We just talking about words. I ain't want to religion you. Man, woe man. Woe is a prefix. Woe is me. Woe mean pain. So woe man is the pain of a man. So what I'm simply saying is, can a woman decide, hey, I want to be a good person just for me, unless it's male motivated? I just got fucked over, or I want a boyfriend. So now I'm going to sit down and try to learn how to, like, why do women join your class? Women join my class because they just got fucked over or they want a man. It's never, hey, master teacher, I've been sitting around and I realized I'm a dirtbag motherfucker with an attitude. I want to join your class to be better. It'd be, hey, some nigga just fucked me over. I want to heal, or show me how to get a man. Why do women come to you for life coaching?
I would say the same reason. Because a lot of times, if we're honest, a lot of times if you are out of purpose, you are highly, as a woman, motivated to get in relationship.
Because you want somebody to save you. Ain't that what I just said?
Say it again now. Pay attention. A woman that is purposeless, not solid on her purpose for real, is driven. I'm talking about driven by relationships. We talk all the time about what motivates men is sex. What motivates women is relationships. Not necessarily because they want relationships. It's because they want to have bragging rights to say they are in one. And then a lot of women look at you and say, well, what's your value if no man is claiming you, or no man is saying that you're his, or whatever? What kind of woman are you?
The Bible say that.
Man's validating your word from last night, validation. Well, what man is validating you as a woman? And you're like, ooh, I'm not getting no validation. So, man, I don't know. So a lot of women are motivated, highly motivated by relationships, Javon.
Yeah.
To the point where the reason, like you're saying, that they get to that almost to the edge of their life, to where I got to come up with something because I have to have my purpose.
Woo.
Not necessarily because
it's the purpose. It's the man now. Now that I have a man, I have a purpose. It's like I said, Isaiah 4:1 is happening. You're saying get a Mister. Mister got a couple of missuses. Because
that's fine.
If Mister can.
Remember, I also speak of this.
Yeah, I know. We're gonna change lives.
What's your rank as a woman? Are you a main chick? Or are you second and third string? It's what it is. You got to ask yourself certain raw questions so that when you are presented from a man's perspective and he says to you, listen, you're a nice lady. I really like you. I like spending time with you, but I can't make you a promise. It's just you. And you say, okay, well, I'm fine with that. Where do I sign up? And she signs up anyway. Then she's in her own understanding and truth.
And she can always move up or always keep her place if she remains in that truth and don't be bitter of her place in the role.
But it depends, because again, everything changes. Everything's subject to change at all times. No matter if you're married, if you're not married, if you're single, whatever, everything is subject to change. Just like these trees right now, they're full of leaves. Well, in a couple of months, they're going to be dry and bare. Everything changes on a daily. So we got to make sure that we're crystal clear on the fact that where we are today is where we are today. But
okay, Carla, let me play devil's advocate for 1 second, because I know there's a lot of women watching. Here we go again. It's sounding like you're saying a woman has to be promiscuous. So let me ask you something.
I'm not saying.
I know you're not saying that. I know, but let me ask you this. So let me ask you, in a woman having a mister. So let me ask you this.
Okay.
All right. So let's talk turkey for a quick. And I feel like this is a tribute because everybody say I look like him. Sexual healing. Let's talk about that for a second.
You know, Marvin's my family, but go ahead.
Oh, okay. So sexual, look at the law of attraction. Sexual healing.
Yes.
A woman having a mister.
Yes.
Can we say that there's some truth to a woman just needs some dick in her life to keep her grounded? Can we just say that?
We can. Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Thank you, because I needed that to be said. So ladies, we gonna coin a phrase. Stop saying I don't need a man. Say I don't need a man, but I need some dick. See what I'm saying? Because
where's the lie?
It just seemed like men are not out here unstable because we can't get no pussy.
No.
Now, can you see how it's crazy? Because I met you. This is so amazing. And me and my wife used to say this, and I said, me and my wife used to talk about doing a podcast, and we was like, even me, I was like, I don't want to do it because I deep down know the woman is always wrong, and it's gonna always seem like a woman coaching, like we coming at women. You know what I'm saying? Right. And I know women that say, oh, she like him, or she just up there because he was popular. She just saying that shit. She coming at women. Right. Not totally understanding. Yeah. That you were this woman who went on this journey to self-discovery, who's been married twice to good, decent men, who don't have a problem getting a man. You got a mister now, and you know your place in his life. Right. Everything you're saying is real. You see what I'm saying? So they don't understand that you're really coming from a place of care and love. Like, sweetheart, you're walking around. One of the two things. I love how you added this one, because I need a bottom line statement. I said, hey, a woman without purpose is gonna be a whore. But you added that second one, a whore or asexual mean motherfucker that's always in somebody's business, stirring up some goddamn drama and ain't fucking nobody.
Right. Yes. Amen. I'm glad you added that, because
I had to add it because I'm living it. I see it.
Yes.
I never thought about it. All I said, man, that bitch needs some dick. That's all I looked at it like that. But I'm thinking the bitch can't get no dick. Now that bitch don't want no dick, probably.
They're doing all of this and not tonguing no man, not kissing no man, not complimenting a man. They hate men. I mean, if you look at their attitude towards their sons, their brothers, and their daddies, pay attention. The way they treat their sons, their daddies, and their brothers, pay attention. Those women, they got a strong man hate.
I tell women all the time, and I tell men too. I used to do profile readings where women was like, "What?" I was like, "I can look at your profile and tell this, that, and other," and it turned into a business. I stopped doing it because it was just. Sometimes I'm not the type of man that's gonna take, "Hey, baby girl, it's so easy. All your profiles the same, baby girl. I can look at you. Look, I'm looking at your profile. Let's scroll down, and I'm doing the messenger, and we seeing it live.
Right.
You don't have one picture with one man." You don't, so I can look at you and tell you don't have an uncle, a cousin, a little brother, a nephew, a godfather, a father, a co-worker. You don't have one man in your profile in your life that I can say, who is that guy? Does he give you advice? Who is he to you? So it lets me know that you're literally either you don't have no men in your advice in your life and you're just a willy-nilly wild and crazy woman, or you're literally trying to hide anybody in your life so you can get some dick. And women will be like, damn. And the same thing for men. I tell men all the time, hey, man, I try to when women look at my profile. Hey, man, I ain't seen a niece, a goddaughter, a mother, a grandma, a auntie. You ain't go to your auntie's 80th birthday party and at least take one fucking picture with her. She ain't valuable. Goddamn, nigga. You ain't got one woman in your life that you care about or responsible for. God damn, nigga. You hiding anybody close to you because you want some pussy. And it's so self-explanatory. People don't understand I have a degree in social psychology and we own what? Social media.
Social media. Yes.
You're so you're so explanatory.
It is. But again, remember, I always say that men need to pay attention that she left you. Yes. Okay. Understand that. But you gave your best to her.
Or she made you leave her. Because a lot of times a man is staying some shit so long that he know he not need to leave because the woman ain't beating him. She ain't doing nothing overtly the world can see, and that man will stay so long because he don't want to feel like, man, I left my wife, and he feel like if he leave his wife, he might lose some shit.
Right.
But sometimes when a man put his foot down, it's like, man, I left my wife, and when it's time to explain why he left her, he can't even articulate it because he's been emotionally abused and can't even say, man, she just used to fuck with my head a lot, and I couldn't figure it out. It was just always had me going.
Right. But again, we know why that is. A lot of these women don't really have a true, honest way of being in a love affair. They've got a lot of if I'm just running my mouth again to the same thing, but the truth is they have a lot of man hate. And even in the term pick me, it's really to say that
you're a decent woman. I don't even like you either.
Right. It's like,
woman, you're agreeable. You're opposite.
I'm getting it and you're not.
Yeah. I don't even
understand how that's
I don't even like you. I don't even like you. Imagine a man saying, now we see men capping for women all the time. Derek Jackson, yada, certain men, and men and women know that's some goddamn bullshit. See, when a man bullshitting, it's like nobody has to, like I said, if I said, give me some pussy, you said no. And I said, it's because y'all pussy stink. Any woman that don't give a man sex on the first date, it's because they pussy stink. Right. Men and women in the whole world alike would be like, man, go ahead with that stupid ass dumb shit. The woman don't give you no pussy. You say that pussy stink. The whole world would just dismiss him as a lame, simp ass motherfucker.
Right.
But like I said, if a woman say, pay for my hair, nails, and feet before the date, and the man say, I'm not doing that, they've created a term, you a brokey. And women have, and agreed to that shit. So when men do dumb shit, when men do certain things, all you have to do is flip it. Like I said earlier, The woman walking around naked in front of her kids, taking baths with her sons, in the bathroom, going in the bathroom with her son. The man that tried that shit, oh, you perverted, no good, motherfucker. We know exactly why that's wrong.
Right. That's why, again, I tell men that they are necessary. They are necessary in the homes of a woman, and why it's important that a woman, I like that you said something powerful earlier, is that I won't go to a woman's home and she's got kids. I don't want to give them or cast off an incorrected way of seeing it.
And I'm trying to help her. And she's like,
you're trying to help her. Again,
I'm leading you from the outside. You know, right. I'll come over there and tear your head off. But right. You don't want your son to hear what I'm going to do to you. Right. You don't want that boy to hear that.
No.
I didn't want to hear what was happening to my women in my family.
But it comes down to a woman understanding that. I was talking to a friend of mine the other day, and we were laughing. There's this pastor that his wife is on social media and trying to blast him and you know, just trying to rip apart his reputation. And I told him, I said, you know what's so deep to me? I said, how dare you take away a man's decency to where you're just going to dog him on social media? And you know, this man is a man that has an affluent position.
He take care of your children through his decency. He cares. He takes care of you. Bitch, your alimony check is going to be cut short by you dogging him out. His child support check is going to go down.
Yes. But I was telling him, I said, well, you know what's so funny? I said, certain men, I said, with me being single for years, I said, certain men, I would just be mindful that this man is married, whether I'm attracted or not. This man is a married man, and he's very, very clear about his marriage and his devotion to it.
Yeah.
What kind of foul woman would I be to try to pursue it anyway? Mm-hmm. I said, but you know what's so deep? I said, more than anything else, I think women don't really want to own up to is the chastisement of a man that is in a situation like that, and he tells you to your face that you're not only are you disrespecting me, you're dishonoring my wife. What would that feel like to some of these women that just still pursue it anyway?
That means I have to tear you down. I have to hurt you back. Let me give you a perfect example of what I mean, right? Some of the funniest shit ever. I say it all the time. Females, ladies, if you ever try to besmirch a man's character, you're going to tear your own character down more. Now, let me give you an example.
Yes.
This chick named Tia Kemp, she called herself Auntie, Rick Ross' baby mama, right?
Okay.
She came out and said, when I met Rick Ross, he was fat, didn't even know how to take care of his hygiene, didn't even know how to bathe and keep himself clean, trying to besmirch his character. She was talking shit to Charleston White. Charleston White said, first of all, bitch, I wouldn't even address a bitch like you. He said, you told us that you was bathing and had to teach Rick Ross how to bathe and sucking that fat boy's stinking dick before he was even famous. So you a dirty butt bitch anyway. Now think about this.
Right. So he chastised her on social media.
Yeah. Think about this. This woman is saying when she met Rick Ross, he wasn't famous. He didn't even had all the money. He was fat and sloppy and didn't even know how to bathe. And you was fucking and sucking him then. Why would you tell the world that?
I don't know.
That's like me saying, man, when I met this woman, man, every time I met her, we've been together 20 years, right? We've been together 20 years.
Right.
Man, her drawers used to be gummy with stinking shit all the time, man. Like shit on her drawers, the bitch couldn't cook. It's like people look at you like, well, damn, you put up that with. So when I look at a pastor, I watched when Yada, I don't know if you know who that is.
I know Yada. Yeah.
When he was beating his first wife and beating on them kids, he was selling like reselling shit from the dollar store, saying it was he made it, right? So she go through the house with the phone. He got a whole room of dollar store shit. He repackaging, right? Mm-hmm. She's showing it all. Look at this. He paid $1 for this and this and this. Now you living in this mansion with this man. Eating good. All these years. Now you mad at him. You finna show his scam. And make that man lose all that money.
Because
he bought himself back up. He bought himself back up. You see what I'm saying?
But there's a viciousness to that.
Don't you see why the Bible say Samson and Delilah, Jezebel and the king? It's like people don't realize you won't let a man close to you to destroy you, to hurt you. You let a woman close to you. That's why I said that woman tear down empires, Helen of Troy, the face that launched 1,000 ships. A man sit down and go to war or deter war or play a chess or negotiate. Hey, look, man, my country is near your country. We got 1 million people. Y'all got 1 million people. Ain't no need for us to fight. We're going to wipe each other out.
Right.
You let a bitch be involved. War. I don't care what happened. I don't care about the children, the land, nothing. War. Let's go to war. Kind of bitch. And these are weak motherfuckers.
Right.
These have been men that most powerful men. Samson, strong, fucking Anthony. Cleopatra took his ass down. Julius Caesar, fucking Alexander the Great, Attila the Hun. These motherfuckers that took over the world. A bitch destroy everything. Tender dick, that's what we call it. My granddaddy said, don't be no tender dick motherfucker.
But that's a disgusting human being. Why would you destroy anybody's reputation?
Because I'm not a part of it. I don't get to eat off it no more. But even in still, sometimes women get to eat off it. I said it. I answered it earlier. Okay, let me go back. I answered it. A woman will destroy a man's reputation and he makes his money off of his reputation. She don't care. The reason she do that is this. I said it earlier. It's her way of convincing the world and herself that it's his fault.
Right.
If I go out and destroy, I must have really got fucked over. I go as far as to say I laugh all the time because it's like when we look at our race as black people, and this is why I'm so hard on our women. But people think it's me being hard. I'm hard on them because I want them to let us back in their lives. I want them to let us lead. I'm not the guy that's saying, passport brothers, let's go to another country and get a white bitch or get a Puerto Rican bitch or some shit. I'm saying, yo, let's stay with our black women. Real men, if you got to have 4 bitches and a wife, right, and you got to be a daddy in 4 households, that's what we need to do, because we got to get them back in line because it's going too far. Y'all know y'all got 3, 4 bitches anyway. Go ahead and sit them down, bring them together and talk, and she babysit, she cook, she and them 2 work and you work, and y'all do this shit together. This is what I'm saying.
Right.
I'm saying even if it's not like that, it's all right, uncle. Let your uncle back in them kids' lives. Let his daddy back in his life. Let these men back around, because y'all know that y'all can't be led. You can't lead yourself. You see where you at, and you're sick of your own goddamn selves, and you're getting older. It's finna be a new generation of older woman that's still trying to feel a certain way, and their self-esteem gonna get lower and lower and lower and lower as you get older.
Right. And why is that, Javon? Because there is no purpose.
No purpose.
Again, we go right back to it.
You know what? It's so crazy. You said some of the craziest shit earlier when you said become asexual. That's what a nun does. A nun say, you know what? Fuck it. I ain't got no purpose. I'm going to go let the church take care of me, the preacher take care of me.
I'm going to throw a curveball, because I want to make sure I'm clear about purpose. I know you asked a really good question earlier. Just because someone is successful doesn't mean that they're purposeful.
Exactly.
So what I mean by that is, just because you have success in your career, or just because you've got money coming in, a lot of money, just because you're doing all kinds of things and you got all kinds of plaques and trophies and all kinds of things that you've accomplished, doesn't mean that you're in purpose. So when you know your purpose, you really start to living different.
Yeah.
You don't waste time anymore on BS when you're purposeful. What I mean by that is women, once they learn their purpose, they start to get more settled about being more balanced and being okay with what? Monotony. Because she's no longer in this craving of wanting a relationship.
And that man, she could see how he helps that. That's Chris always tell y'all, y'all think I'm dick whip, I'm light whip, life whip.
I love it.
He always tell y'all, her purpose, everything that she wants to do, I help her with.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing that people don't understand. That's the thing that people don't understand about me and my wife. It ain't about no pussy. I can get a new woman tomorrow. It ain't about this, that, and the other. Our purpose is tied together. So me and Krista stopped having sex to reach our purpose. Me and Krista said, shit, if we sleep around, shit, we'll use condoms on each other. But we don't give each other nothing. Goddamn, say the fun shit for the outside, goddamn it. Right. Make the sex boring at home. We ain't fucking up purpose. People don't understand the realness. We talking real life shit. So the purpose is the number one shit.
Yes.
And it's so, it amazes me because when you don't have purpose, you waiting on somebody to fucking come in and swoop you up and save you. But let's just be real before we get out of here, because I gotta go. I like the way you threw that curveball, but I want to bring people back down to earth. These are entertainers and celebrities and movers and shakers you're talking about. And they'll tell you they don't have purpose and they be committing suicide. We know your regular ass ain't got all those accolades and all that money and all those awards and shit. I don't want, because Miss Carla, let me tell you something about women that I do know. That curveball that you threw right now will be the very thing that'll bail a woman out in her mind after hearing all this shit. Well, I got a good job. I got a degree. I'm making some money. I got my own house. Mm-hmm. And they'll call that purpose. Yeah. So don't don't let them off the goddamn hook. You got them where you want them. Get out of there, Rocky. It's time to get out of there, Carla. You
already know. You already know. And that they will do that. They will do that.
Mm-hmm. Men will too. Shit.
But but again, this is why I say it's important for men to understand this. Just to get back to the topic at hand. Yes, you were decent. Yes, you ended up losing your woman or whatever. But don't keep making the same mistake and don't get to a point of love dryness where you're not wanting to even taste a woman or be around a woman or even invest in a woman and a love affair again and all that. Do it again. But remember what I taught before. Yeah. Love with your eyes wide open.
Gotta have some swag.
Get my ebook tonight for $9.99. It's called She Left Anyways. But listen, this book is going to empower you to a whole different degree of understanding the woman. Because we as women have a tendency to get a little off kilter, especially when we're not purposeful. But you have to know, remember I said in the other, a couple of them, how important it is to know if a woman is really in her purpose, or if she's not all the way in her purpose, is she chasing to learn it? Is she learning her gifts, her talents? Those are the real signs of understanding. And we will do a show where I talk about seeing the signs of a woman purpose driven.
Well, family, let me let y'all know what time it is. Just sum this up, fellas. Don't just start buying pussy. Because men, it's a lot of men out here that say, I'm just going to buy pussy and I hire a maid to come through and clean the house. So, man, don't let your heart wax cold because you got fucked over for being a good guy or being a decent man. Come join our class, Swag Academy. Join me, join Carla, and be a part of the Patreon. And we're going to give you some game on how to get back out there. And ladies, we're going to give y'all some game how to stand up and be seen and get your swag and purposefully find your mister. Until then, y'all stay tuned in, tapped in, turned on. We will see y'all later. Peace.